the speed of his recovery is just amazing.
Now at 6, out of the hospital and on the road to recovery, the deputy who defied the odds and survived a barrage of gunshots heads home.
Plus, showdown in Salem, where the latest move by Oregon's Secretary of State leaves state lawmakers who decided to walk out.
And celebration today, uncertainty tomorrow. Oregon State shows off its upgraded stadium while caught in the middle of Pac-12 turmoil. But first, a KGW investigation.
Did it make any sense to you?
No, it didn't, and it kind of made me sick to my stomach.
An address in another city and the wrong social security number. How a Hillsborough man targeted for a debt he says wasn't his ended up fighting back.
Good evening, everyone. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Laurel Porter. 16% of all Oregonians have debt that's been turned over to collections. But it's not only those who owe money who are being targeted by aggressive collectors.
In an ongoing KGW investigation, Kyle Aboshi just talked to another person being sued for debt they say is not theirs. And this man's story includes some critical advice on what to do if you get contacted.
It's a company Michael Burns had never heard of.
And it's LVNV Funding, LLC, is the name of the company.
But after weeks of stress and a legal runaround, the Hillsborough man has become all too familiar with the debt collection company.
Page after page after page is where somebody sold the debt to somebody else, then that person sold the debt to somebody else.
The trouble started back in September when LVNV Funding filed suit against Michael in Multnomah County. The debt collection company claimed he owed about $1,000 to Credit One Bank, a company he's never done business with. Not to mention the old bill listed a Portland address.
I've never lived there, right? I've lived in Hillsborough since 2004.
Michael's wife responded.
So she called the company and said, hey, you got the wrong person. My husband never had a debt with you like this. And so they asked her what my last 4 digits of my social security number was. And so she gave that to him. They said, oh, we got the wrong person.
He figured it was over and done with. But 3 months later, Michael received new court papers. LVNV had moved the case from Multnomah to Washington County, where he lives.
Did it make any sense to you?
No, it didn't, and it kind of made me sick to my stomach. I had to start reading it. It's about 20, 30 pages long. They decided I was the bad person, so they came after me.
Michael is not alone.
I, to this day, do not know what this debt is for.
Last month, we reported on a West Lynn woman who claims she too is being sued by LVNV Funding over a debt she doesn't owe. Our investigation found LVNV Funding has filed more than 2,600 debt collection lawsuits against Oregon consumers over the past year.
This debt collector, LVNV, has been in hot water for years for its sloppy practices, suing the wrong person, suing on debts that are not owed, threatening to collect debts that can't be collected.
Attorney Michael Fuller has sued LVNV Funding multiple times and agreed to help Michael for free, pro bono. The lawyer encouraged Michael to respond to LVNV in writing.
I emailed it to them and I said, this is not my debt, right? I said, please get back to me, and they never got back to me.
A judge ultimately dismissed the case and ordered LVNV Funding to pay more than $19,000 in legal expenses.
You got to push back. You got to call them. You got to write an email to them.
The key is don't ignore it.
Yeah, you can't ignore it. If you ignore it, you're in trouble by default, right? If it passes the time limit, then you're automatically guilty. You owe the debt. They can garnish your wages. They can do all kinds of nasty things.
I can't believe that. The company just moved it to another county when they're like, oh, we have the wrong information, but let's try here instead. That was the impression, at least, right?
Really scary that's happening. So, Kyle, what is the company saying and what happens now?
Yeah, so LVNV Funding did not respond to a request for comment. Worth noting, Michael and his attorney are now filing suit in federal court claiming the company violated the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act.
Well, words of caution for a lot of folks. Thank you, Kyle.
Let's get to other headlines now. We're going to start with Oregon Secretary of State, who says she intends to enforce Measure 113 and bar some state senators from running again next year. This announcement comes after the record-setting Republican-led walkouts this summer. In a statement, LaVon Griffin-Valade said the intent of voters was clear to disqualify lawmakers who had 10 or more unexcused absences in a legislative session from holding office during the following term. According to KGW's reporting, at least 9 Republicans and 1 independent will not be eligible. GOP leader Tim Knope says lawmakers disagree with the Secretary of State and plan to challenge her decision in court.
Crime Stoppers is offering a reward this evening for details that lead to a suspect who police say tried to start a fire outside a North Portland home. Police released these photos and say this person tried to light the house on fire multiple times. No word on a potential motive here. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers, which offers rewards of up to $2,500 for information leading to an arrest.
A Beaverton area physician's assistant faces sex abuse charges following a medical exam. A Washington County grand jury indicted 34-year-old Alvin Ashneil Prasad. According to Beaverton police, a 19-year-old female patient accused him of, quote, inappropriate and unnecessary actions during a procedure in July. Investigators believe there may be more victims.
Wildfire-related closures could impact your camping plans. The salmon fires burning near Oak Ridge, southeast of Eugene, and now forcing emergency closures around the Salmon Creek area in the Willamette National Forest. This covers recreation areas such as the Salmon Creek Falls Campground. The closure is for both firefighter and public safety. It's set to last a long time until October 24th, unless fire conditions improve before then.
And TriMet has moved into its new headquarters downtown, just blocks from Portland City Hall. The agency signed an 11-year lease for nearly 100,000 square feet of space at 101 Southwest Main. TriMet occupies 6 floors of the 20-story building with its general manager, executive team, and others now calling the office tower home.
Well, David and Laura, we're looking at some really nice weather out there. We'll go out to the Oregon coast this evening. Clear skies. Temperatures are in the low 70s. You saw highs almost in the mid 70s earlier this afternoon. That's been kind of the common trend here over the last couple of days, up and down the Oregon and Washington coastline. Right now, inland, though, we're really seeing a temperature of 86 degrees. Now, we are going to be seeing some changes move in overnight. We have a weak system that's going to be bringing in a little bit of more of an onshore flow. That just means cool and cloudy conditions to start off your Wednesday morning. Again, we could be seeing some light precipitation falling as early as sunrise tomorrow morning. But again, the rainfall amounts are going to be very light. And coming up in the detailed forecast, I'll talk more about the heat wave that is right around the corner.
Thank you, Joe. An amazing story tonight. A Washington County Sheriff's deputy shot multiple times in the line of duty is out of the hospital. Deputy Chuck Doze was discharged today.
That is so good to see. Our Mike Benner was at the hospital along with dozens of deputies and officers. Mike.
Yeah, David, I'll tell you what, the whole thing gave me chills. To see the love and support for this man was incredible. And perhaps that has something to do with what he survived. Being shot 7 times. I'll say that again. He was shot 7 times. Many people you talk to will say that it is a miracle Deputy Doze is alive.
What a sight it was outside Legacy Emmanuel Medical Center Tuesday morning. Law enforcement from across the region lined the sidewalk as Washington County Sheriff's Deputy Chuck Doze, injured in the line of duty, left the hospital after a less than 2-week stay.
The speed of his recovery is just amazing. His willingness to want to recover is just blown us through the roof.
On July 26th, Deputy Doze was serving an eviction notice in Tualatin when a man later identified as Christopher Graves shot him multiple times. Deputy Doze's body armor stopped 3 bullets to the upper chest, but the deputy was hit once in each arm and twice in the head.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, officer, all the best.
Thank you very much.
Deputy Doze shared a few words with the community, hospital staff, and colleagues before getting in the car and heading to his Southwest Washington home. And by no means was the journey routine. I-5 and SR-14 were shut down as dozens of police vehicles escorted the injured deputy to his house.
There's so much gratitude.
Tay Ericaldi Doze is Deputy Doze's wife. While in awe of the outpouring of support, she's even more in awe of her husband's resilience.
It's truly a miracle. 2 shots to his head, and my gosh, I could be looking at a whole different scenario. And for that, there's big smiles around that bed.
Smiles aside, Tay says the last couple of weeks have been difficult, but the family's unwavering faith carried them through the uncertainty.
I just knew that God had a purpose and a plan beyond this tragedy.
A tragedy that is not going unnoticed, not even close. Just look at the number of men and women in blue who came out to show support and love for one of their own, injured in the line of duty.
We just hope Chuck gets even better, but where he's at now, still can't believe it.
All right, as well as Deputy Doze is doing, he does have a long road ahead of him. His wife tells us that he has a number of surgeries coming down the road. Right now, though, the focus is on strengthening and healing the parts of his body that experienced so much trauma. As far as plans to return to the Washington County Sheriff's Office, listen to this. Deputy Doze actually mentioned wanting to go back to work on day 4 in the hospital. His wife told him, "Relax, honey, focus on the recovery." Back to you.
Well, it truly does seem miraculous, and we wish him a continued speedy recovery. Thank you,
Absolutely.
Mike.